I think it is very, very, very silly to pre-order this thing sight unseen, because there's nothing in the description here that this is going to be some sort of limited edition set. There's nothing in the description here making it clear that this is going to be very difficult to get a hold of come mid-November into December. I am absolutely certain that this Christmas, this is going to be the #1 highest selling Christmas item for Doctor Who this year, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty in terms of quantity for you to get once it's actually released and fans are able to comb over the details and confirm whether or not this is a worthwhile release. I think that pre-ordering this thing sight unseen is a very dumb thing to do. We're in Doctor Who's 60th anniversary year, and it's also a year in which former showrunner Russell T Davies, who originally helmed the show between 2005 and 2009, is going to be returning to Doctor Who as the showrunner, once again with David Tennant. So naturally, the BBC have decided to capitalise on this confluence of events for a brand new home media release. We've got to this Twitter post that was posted a couple of days ago on the official Doctor Who Twitter account. Timeless adventures remembered forever. Explore the first 4 series of modern Doctor Who with the 9th and 10th Doctor eras. All 60 episodes have been newly upscaled and are coming soon to Blu-ray. And then we got this really cool trailer, which I won't play because there's definitely some sort of copyright issue here. So yeah, it was a really cool trailer. Fans really freaked out and really enjoyed the editing of it. But yeah, and then that takes us to this link. A newly remastered Series 1 to 4 Blu-ray of Doctor Who is coming soon. In its 60th anniversary year, newly upscaled versions of 60 Doctor Who episodes from the 9th and 10th Doctor's era are coming to Blu-ray. These new episodes are now available to pre-order in one Blu-ray set. For the ultimate fan, this collection includes every episode and special from the first 4 series, freshly upscaled to high definition, using the latest technology, plus the 10th Doctor specials, existing bonus features, and a new specially shot extra, a look back through time and space with Russell T Davies and David Tennant. To celebrate the announcement, you can watch the trailer. There we go. The box set features newly upscaled versions of episodes from the following series. Series 1, starring Eccleston and Piper as the 9th Doctor and Rose. Series 2, with David Tennant and Billie Piper once again. Series 3, David Tennant with Freem Rajaman. Series 4, with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. And the complete specials with David Tennant and an assortment of supporting characters as he goes through his final days as this incarnation. This box set features 18 discs containing 60 episodes of timeless adventures remembered forever. And there's the preview page there on HMV. It is retailing there at $54.99, and we do not have official box set artwork yet. It just says Series 1 to 4 Blu-ray collection, and this is coming out on the 13th of November. Okay, so it sounds like I've got a really good and really smart audience who have not pre-ordered this set yet, or at least for the most part who have not pre-ordered it. Good, because I think that pre-ordering this Blu-ray collection would be a very, very, very silly thing to do right now. First things first, we don't actually know the extent of the upscale. For example, the Blu-ray sets that were released a few years ago of the 9th and 10th Doctor sets, they were technically high definition, but they were not upscaled, but the sound mixing on them was utterly balked, where the music was way higher than it should have been, dialogue was way quieter than it should have been, sound effects were all over the place. If you watch the show on TV and then went to the Blu-rays, it sounds fundamentally like a very different show. So, is that sound mixing still present on this version? Also, it says upscales, but we don't quite know the extent of the upscales. Yes, we've got this trailer, but this is dealing with YouTube compression. We don't know exactly the extent of the upscales, if they're any good. And also, we do have some upscales in the past. For example, this is the Born Again Children in Need special from 2005, where Season 26B, a YouTube user online, did a HD AI upscale of this a few years ago, which actually looked pretty good, depending on the lighting. Is it like this? Is it slightly different? We kind of want to see what the extent of the upscale is, and also if the sound mixing has been fixed, and also what exactly has been upscaled on this box set. We know that from this description, it's definitely going to be the main episodes up until Planet of the Dead, which was the very first Doctor Who episode of the revived series to be filmed in HD. So from Rose to the next Doctor, it can be assumed that we're getting upscales there. However, are we getting Born Again, the Children in Need special? Are we getting Doctor Who Confidential? Are they going to be upscaled? Also, when the 2009 specials were released on Steelbook a few years ago, they included the Infinite Quest and Dreamland animated stories, as well as The Wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. Are those going to be included? Are those animated stories also going to be upscaled to an extent? Do we also have Totally Doctor Who? Do we have the Blue Peter Christopher Eccleston clip? And you know exactly what clip I'm on about.
Ah, there you are. I've searched for you across time and space. I don't have my sonic screwdriver. What I do have is this. Wow. Take that! Nice work. See you later.
Oh, wow. Shout!
If this has not been put on the Blu-ray box set, and has also not been upscaled into glorious 1080p high definition, I don't even care. But yeah, is this just going to be the exact same special features? We know that we're going to be getting one more thing, a look back through time and space with Rusty Davies and David Tennant. But this could just be a 5 or 10 minute featurette, which I don't think really justifies a whole new release on its own that retails at $54.99. And also, when they did, once again, the 2009 Steelbook collection, when that got re-released, they did like an hour-long in conversation with David Tennant exclusive to that release, and that was actually a really good thing to do. So we have so many unknowns here with this box set. We don't know the extent of the upscale. We don't know if the sound mixing has been fixed. We don't know if there's anything else new that they'll end up just re-releasing when they do a collection set in like 20 or 25 years' time. Who knows? And also, we don't know if everything is going to be upscaled there. Do we have the Weakest Link Doctor Who charity special event? Is Totally Doctor Who there? Attack of the Grask, Music Up the Spheres, Time Crash, have these things been included and or upscaled? We don't know anything about this yet, which is why I think it is very, very, very silly to pre-order this thing sight unseen, because there's nothing in the description here that this is going to be some sort of limited edition set. There's nothing in the description here making it clear that this is going to be very difficult to get a hold of come mid-November into December. I am absolutely certain that this Christmas, unless the 60th anniversary specials get a really quick Blu-ray Steelbook release turnaround, this is going to be the #1 highest selling Christmas item for Doctor Who this year. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty in terms of quantity for you to get once it's actually released and fans are able to comb over the details and confirm whether or not this is a worthwhile release. I think that pre-ordering this thing sight unseen for $54.99 is a very dumb thing to do. It's very dumb. It's very silly. For example, if the upscale is any good, this is a good investment for me because I can use this for footage in upcoming videos and upcoming reviews, so it's tax deductible, because my job is A, beach, and B, Docky Who YouTuber. So this is absolutely fine for me. But unless your job is Docky Who YouTuber plus beach, this is not a good investment, at least in terms of pre-ordering it. Now, I think that $54.99 for 4 full seasons of 13 episode seasons, plus all of the specials, and hopefully maybe it comes with Confidential and a few other things, I actually think that is a very good value prospect in terms of the sheer quantity of stuff. But what if this turns out that the upscale is absolutely terrible and the sound mixing is the worst? Maybe you just get pre-owned versions of the Blu-rays which are available in vast quantities, or you can maybe go to the second-hand market and get some of the Steelbooks which were only released a couple of years ago. It just seems like this, if the upscale is botched, then this looks like a bit of a cash grab in terms of like the BBC for the 60th anniversary year and also celebrating the return of David Tennant and Russell T Davies. We need to comb through this properly first. That's my advice. Wait for someone like me or some Blu-ray review website who actually goes through the technical specifics of these releases to figure out if the upscale job is any good, if the sound mixing has been fixed, and also just maybe wait and see what other special features are confirmed for this set. You know, if Attack of the Grask is not on this box set, I don't think it's worthwhile, in my opinion. Basically, when this releases on the 13th of November 2023, you're not going to be struggling to find a copy of this, okay? Mark my words. Pre-ordering this is silly. Wait and see. I'm begging you folks to wait and see, because the last thing I want is for you folks to pre-order something that is going to take up a lot of shelf space for $54.99, and then it turns out it is no better, or at least maybe only slightly better, than the Blu-ray releases that have already been taking up space on your shelves, and maybe you could have spent a lot of money on those steelbooks, and this is only marginally better. If this turns out to be absolutely awesome, what I might do is that I might put the discs from this set in my steelbook cases for series 1 to 4 plus the 2009 specials. But we've got to see what's there. Please, folks, wait. Now, when it comes to pre-ordering like the animated steelbooks, like the upcoming The Underwater Menace, or the series limited edition steelbooks, like for example, Series 9, that steelbook now retails on eBay for about £500 because it's out of print and it's a legitimate collector's item. You know, once it goes on sale, if you want it, pre-order it as soon as you can, because that's genuinely limited stock. Something like this is going to be all over brick and mortar shops for the next few years. Like I said, I am pretty confident that this is going to be, in terms of just quantity, the #1 best-selling Doctor Who piece of merchandising and media that gets released at Christmas this year. 100%. These are just versions that will be added to Disney Plus, I'd assume. That's also another point. I don't think that saying it's going to be on Disney Plus, don't get the home media release, is a ironclad argument. In terms of value, it makes sense, but in terms of like media preservation and actually owning the media when inevitably Disney Plus decides to part ways with Doctor Who in however many years' time, when they feel like they've got the most out of the property that they think they can get out of it, and then all of a sudden they leave Disney Plus. You know, also maybe these versions will end up getting added to the iPlayer. That's very possible. Doctor Who, year on year on year, is consistently like in the top 10 most streamed shows on the BBC iPlayer, and that includes years like 2020, and that includes years like 2019 and 2022, when there was hardly any episodes actually broadcast that year. It was just the back catalogue. We've actually had some TV series and some movies that were released this year that are now no longer available on Disney Plus. It's a good value prospect, but if you want something like guaranteed you're going to have it in your home and be able to watch it whenever you want, home media is still going to be king here. For me, I'm just going to get this and then just rip it onto my hard drives for video footage. That's easy for me. But like I said, my job is Docky Who YouTuber. If I remember, the full confidential episodes can't be released because of all the copyrighted music in them. If they were to have the full episode on, the audio would need to be heavily edited. Now, that's true for the full 45-minute confidential episodes that were broadcast on BBC Three. But now, I'm talking about the confidential cut-downs that are, as far as I'm aware, completely fair game. Like, the BBC owns those outright with very little issues with licensing the music. But like I said, going back once again to the 2009 special Steelbook, those were the full hour-long episodes of Confidential, with all of the licensed music included. For something like the 2009 specials, that seems to be fair game as well, at least for that release. It would be ridiculous if they don't release the pre-existing DVD/Blu-ray features, but that's the thing. The features, once again going back to that 2009 specials Steelbook release, those special features have actually been quite fragmented on certain releases and on certain box sets. So it's not a guaranteed and assumed thing that this box set is actually going to have all of those things that was on that release. So that is why I'm advocating that you folks just hold off for literally 2.5 months. Do you think we'll get a Moffat remastered box set in a few years' time? If this thing sells well, which I'm pretty damn confident it will, especially if the upscale job is good and the special features are thorough and comprehensive, I'm sure this will do really, really well. And it also depends, once again, on the artwork. If the artwork is attractive, it's alluring to the eye, which I'm sure it will be. I hope that maybe they've got someone like Sophie Cowdery on it, or maybe someone like Lee Binding as well. Either a terrific hand-drawn piece of artwork or a terrific piece of digital artwork, respectively. If this thing sells well, I think it's almost like a certainty that it's going to get some sort of release. What might be worth doing, though, is doing a Moffat. Yeah, maybe do Moffat. So the 11th Doctor and the 12th Doctor. And then wait a few more years, and then we do Jodie Whittaker's era. Oh no, that might be a distribution minefield, though. Because you don't really want 9 and 10, then 11 and 12, then 13 on her own. But would you want 13 with 14 and 15? that might be a bit of a licensing minefield, because you've also got Disney Plus and Bad Wolf in there. It's all owned by BBC Studios, so that might circumvent it. But that's how I would do it, if it was up to me. 9 and 10, then 11 and 12 on another set of their own, then 13, 14, 15. I'd bundle them together. I wouldn't want to, like, isolate the 13th Doctor on her own. I wouldn't want to maroon her out on an island on her own. What will happen when the collection box sets get to the modern revived era? That's the thing, though. I want you folks to be a little bit more careful on what you pre-order, because the shelf space is finite, folks. Trust me, I bought a shelf just for Doctor Who stuff, and it's already filled in about a year, okay? There's only so much shelf space. If this turns out to be a bit of a botched release, then okay, no harm done. You've got space for a collection box set in like 10 years' time. Pre-order can be cancelled. That's true. That's actually one thing that I really like about Zavvi and HMV, is that if you want to pre-order something that is limited edition, so you guaranteed your stock of it, it means that you can cancel that pre-order before it gets released because you've not paid anything. I always pre-order the collection. That's another thing, flippant as well. The collection comes in that limited edition packaging, and then later on it's the standard packaging as well. So you've got options there. Whereas for this, there's no indication that this is going to be a limited edition set. Let me search limited. There we go. See, the only use of the word limited on this news page is at the bottom here for the collection season 20 limited edition. This is not a limited edition set. This is just a commemorative 60th anniversary Return of David Tennant and Russell T Davies box set. Hold off on your pre-orders. Wait and see if the upscale is good, if the sound mixing is fixed, and if the special features are comprehensive. And then, once you have that informed information, do what your money what you will. But I urge you folks to show a little bit of restraint for this one. Worst case scenario, it turns out the release is really, really bad, and then you can just get like either these versions here on Blu-ray really, really easily, either first hand. They're pretty prominent on the second hand market as well. So, Doctor Who on Blu-ray is not going anywhere. So you can afford to hold out. And like I said, these releases are not that old. This one, Series 3, was released in 2015, 8 years ago, which, in terms of Doctor Who home media, is not that long ago, strictly speaking. All I know is Big Chief Studios had pre-orders, but they got liquidated and lots of people lost money. Yeah, I don't really follow the that side of the merchandising in terms of the special edition figurines and that, and the 1:6 scale lifelike replicas of actors and doctors and stuff, but those cost like thousands of pounds, and then Big Chief goes into liquidation, and then people aren't able to get that money back. But BBC Studios is not going to go into liquidation anytime soon. On the contrary, for the past few years, they've been posting pretty profitable years, and they cite 2 shows as the reason they have some of their most profitable years: Top Gear and Doctor Who. So when people say, commercially, the Chibnall era was terrible for Doctor Who, it's going downhill, go woke, go broke and stuff. The past few years, the BBC have directly cited Doctor Who and its run over the past few years as the reasons why the corporation, the commercial arm of the corporation, has been so profitable. Big Chief shut down. Yeah, they're going into liquidation. Doctor Who Blu-rays aren't running away. Very true.